Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining the call today. My name is Aaron here with Trio, and we are super excited to have you and your team on the call today. This is a recorded onboarding presentation that will be aimed at our Link Home Financing product and our Link Convertible Lease product. If you guys have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to drop them in the chat or kindly ask my team to pause the presentation. We will be more than happy to go over any questions that you all have live here on the call. So, without further ado, let's get started with Link. As the program administrator for the Link Home Financing product and the Link Convertible Lease, Trio has established a proven track record in delivering innovative financing solutions. As the originators of this groundbreaking financing structure, we've honed our process to perfection and continue to refine our products, making Link the industry's premier financing solution. So in 2021, we launched the Link Home Loan, which is a long-term ownership financing product. The Link Home Loan is a 40-year consumer loan using a seller financing contract with an underlying assumable 30-year FHA loan. The underlying FHA loan helps to keep things affordable and secure for our customers. The Link Home Loan is fully amortizing down, and we are financing at today's rate like any other loan. So there isn't this increase in the customer's option price that they can expect to pay at a future rate. So the beauty in that is that the Link Home Loan works like any other loan in terms of the payoff structure. Now, where the Link Home Loan is unique is that the customer has equitable title interest in the home. When they sign their seller financing contract, they will also sign a memorandum of contract, which gives them that unique equitable title interest inside the home, which means they have all the rights of enjoying the home, making changes to the home, gaining equity in the home, just like the title holder would. But remember that our governmental agency is who goes on the direct title or the direct loan, if you will. Moving over to our Link Convertible Lease product, which mirrors the Link Home Loan in a lot of ways. One of the major differences is that the customer will be signing a lease agreement instead of the Link Home Loan seller financing contract. We created the Link Convertible Lease to help customers still be able to secure long-term financing who don't meet the underwriting requirements for the Link Home Loan, whether it be credit score, housing, income documentation, or anything that is limiting their full approval for the Link Home Loan. This is a wonderful option for customers to exercise should they choose to do so. The convertible lease is an automatic rollover into the Link Home Loan after 18 months of on-time payments. So if the customer chooses to exercise that option to go from their initial lease interest into equitable title interest, they have the option to convert to the Link Home Loan after those 18 months of on-time payments. Once again, with equitable title interest, that gives the customer all the rights to home ownership in terms of mortgage interest deduction on the FHA loan, making changes to the home, and it also gives them the right to sell the home in the future as long as they sell the home at a net price that is able to also pay off any existing debt that was put in place. As the creators and administrators of the Link Home Loan, Trio is responsible for facilitating the entire process on behalf of our governmental partners. You won't have any direct communication with them as our team handles all interactions. The Link Home Loan is a 40-year seller financing agreement that enables customers to assume the FHA loan or bring in new financing to refinance their interest in the home. This allows them to transition from equitable title interest to legal or direct title interest, assuming or refinancing the FHA loan and bringing in new financing. Trio's involvement comes to an end once the customer retains legal and direct title in the home. The beautiful thing about the Link Home Loan is that if the customer doesn't want to assume the FHA loan, refinance, or become mortgage qualified, they still have a 40-year Link loan that will remain the same. The customer has ownership rights of the home and pays off the loan over time and retains legal title just like any other loan. Our master servicers are collecting the monthly payments from the customer and allocating them accordingly into principal, interest, and escrow. Unlike other loans, the customer isn't required to qualify for the FHA loan. Our governmental partners are pre-approved for the FHA loan with the only condition being the appraisal. Therefore, this program provides you with one of the easiest FHA loans you will have to originate. Communication between your firm and ours is critical in ensuring a smooth transaction. Customer and property documentation must be shared to close the transaction seamlessly. How do the agents and loan officers benefit? As an open platform, real estate agents do not have to worry about splitting commission. The full commission is paid out as normal, just like any other transaction. However, for loan officers and lending teams, your company must first be signed up with one of our master servicers. These servicers are responsible for servicing payments for the Link Home Loan and Convertible Lease. This means that when customers make their monthly payment, they are paying the master servicer and not Trio directly. To help streamline communication between your firm and our Trio team, we recommend establishing an internal centralized link team dedicated to handling link transactions. I will also provide your team with a list of email addresses for specific communications with our team, such as our closings email, our disclosures email, and our MyLink Loan team email. So in terms of the process, the customer applies to their loan officer, who submits an application to Trio using a Fannie Mae file upload. Trio's automated underwriting system reviews the application and issues a pre-approval with an approved purchase price and monthly payment. The customer then shops for a home with their agent. Once the home is selected, Trio's assignment addendum needs to be executed and returned. There are 3 spots for signatures: the buyer, the seller, and then Trio signs the assignment addendum last. Trio has some preset assumptions for interest rates, property taxes, insurance, and closing costs, which may need to be altered as needed. After the assignment addendum is signed, Trio will review the property to ensure accurate pricing and adjust the preliminary pricing as needed. Once the final pricing is confirmed, the FHA loan can be started in your system. The FHA case number and appraisal cannot be ordered until the assignment addendum is fully executed. The Trio team will then require various documents for final approval on both the borrower and property side. When a customer signs a link agreement with Trio, Trio simultaneously signs on the FHA loan. The customer funds the loan with Trio, and then Trio uses the funds to finalize the FHA loan. Once everything is complete, the title company will notify the agent that the transaction is closed and recorded, and the customer will receive keys to their new home. So who are the Link customers? Link is for any and everyone. I cannot stress that enough. Prospective homeowners who are purchasing a home for the first time, entrepreneurs who operate their own businesses, individuals who earn income as independent contractors or through freelance work, people who are relocating to a new area and need secure housing, individuals who have recently started a new job and are in need of housing. So I encourage your team to look at any near quals and see why that particular customer was denied financing and see if they would be a great candidate for the Link home loan. So here are a few examples and a few scenarios of some Link customers. And once again, I cannot stress this enough that Link is for any and everyone. For instance, a customer recently relocated and had an income of $145,000 with a credit score of 680. Despite having 2 full-time jobs with no seasoning and $100,000 in student loan debt, they did not qualify for a traditional loan. However, with the help of the Link home loan, they were successfully approved for $425,000. I hope these scenarios provide some insight into the power of the Link home loan and how it can help customers who may not otherwise qualify for traditional loans achieve their dream of home ownership. So here's a brief summary of our underwriting guidelines that are specific to Link and the convertible lease. So you'll see the differences in credit score. For credit score other, this is aimed at customers that are self-employed or they already own their own home, and this home with Link would be the customer's secondary property. For self-employed customers, we do not require a higher down payment, but if they already own another home, we do require a higher down payment for that. That bumps them from the 3.5% to the 5% down payment. Additionally, we do have some overlays on our max PTI with similar categories. We also group in no-score ITINs in that as well. So where they would normally have a max of 42%, they will be limited down to a 38% PTI. So moving over to assets and what we require as proof of funds, we do require that the funds be liquid and show on their most recent bank statements. It can be in either the checking or savings account, and we do allow for gifted funds as well. For cash to close, we do require the amount from their Schedule B in addition to a month's payment and 1 month in reserves. So in essence, on all of our Link transactions, when they are closing, it is inclusive of all cash to close from the FHA entity loan and any Link fees that are required. Moving over to housing documentation. Housing documentation is one of the most critical items that we look at when screening the docs for the customer. It is important to note that cash receipts and money orders are not accepted forms of payment verification. Additionally, rent paid with cash is also not accepted due to its inability to be properly verified. If payments are made electronically, it is required to provide a customer payment ledger from a verifiable online property management system. In cases where electronic payment verification is not possible, 12 months of bank statements are required. This includes payments made via check or mobile transfer providers such as Zelle or Venmo. It is essential that the payment history shows 12 months of on-time payments with no late payments, collections, or other rental violations within the most recent 12 months. Additionally, there should be no evictions in the most recent 24 months and no unresolved housing or utility collections. For related party housing history, if two people are listed on the rental verification, both must be on the application unless it is verifiable that the applicant is the only one making rental payments. VORs and credit supplements plus 3 months of bank statements verifying payments are accepted under the following conditions shown here in the presentation. In cases where mortgage payments are being used for verification, an on-time payment history for the most recent 12 months must be documented on the credit report. If there is no recent payment history, the applicant may not be eligible for LINK but could be eligible for a convertible lease with approval. Exceptions may be made for COVID forbearance or gaps in employment with LINK approval. Here is our customer payment calculator that you and your team can find on our MyLink Loan website. This is a great resource for your team to use so you can see exactly where the customer will fall as far as their monthly payment. When submitting an application, it's crucial to prioritize the Fannie Mae file and the 1003. Additionally, please note that our team will conduct an Equifax soft pull for the credit report, which will inform our decision-making process. After receiving a conditional approval, you'll receive an alert with multiple documents that will need to be uploaded for both the customer and the property. These documents include our home guidelines, which will be discussed in detail on the next slide. So our home guidelines are put in place to make sure that the customers are choosing quality homes. We have our guidelines go out and make sure that the customer has read these guidelines and also signed the home guidelines so they are aware of the parameters that are put in place. We want to make sure that the customer is not choosing any homes with a ton of issues where there are red flags that get highlighted on the appraisal or inspection report. For example, it could be items such as structural damage, roof damage, major electrical issues, or any major health and safety concerns. We want to make sure that the customer, loan officer, and real estate agent is well aware of these costs that are involved for the customer so the customer doesn't get themselves involved in these big ticket items that can be very expensive. Overall, our goal is to help our customers avoid any risks or expenses associated with buying a home that has major issues. We take our role in this process very seriously, and our guidelines are an important part of ensuring that our customers end up with the kind of quality homes that they deserve. Inspections are required to be completed on all homes except for new construction. We require the signed acknowledgement on all transactions and proof of payment of the inspection report on all transactions aside from new construction. Our property condition guidelines remain in effect and need to be considered by the parties working on the closing. C1 and C2 ratings do not require any further action except for the 1004D if required for subject to conditions. C3 and C4 ratings do not require any further action except for the 1004D if required for subject to conditions and any major health and safety items identified on the inspection or appraisal report need to be resolved. TRIO does reserve the right to request more information from the lender regarding the property's condition should any information provided highlight concerns for the same. C5 and C6 ratings do not qualify for financing and will be denied by TRIO. So here are some tips on how to prepare the offer. You'll want to begin by drafting the offer as usual with the customer identified as the buyer. Also be sure to add the assignment addendum, which can be found at this link for your reference. It is recommended that you include a seller concession if possible. Otherwise, the customer will need to pay all finance and closing costs on their own. To safeguard the customer's earnest money deposit, there are contingencies for the inspection and appraisal. Please ensure that the home warranty is included as well. While you can use any title and escrow company, we suggest using First Title and Escrow for best results. Additionally, it should be noted that the cleaner the file, the faster we can close. We have observed multiple transactions closing in under 20 days, so everyone must work together effectively and efficiently to ensure a timely closing. So in terms of contract upload, please upload all transaction documents to TRIO using our MyLink Loan website. This includes filling out contact info and property details and attaching the purchase contract, assignment addendum, all exhibits, and any additional addendums. Once received, we will review and price the contract for LINK and send the signed assignment to the lender's internal LINK team within 24 to 48 hours. Please send all FHA loan disclosures to disclosures@thinktrio.com and note that the FHA case number and appraisal cannot be ordered until the fully executed assignment is returned from us. So in terms of uploading docs, your team will utilize various sets of links to upload documents on both the customer and property side. These links are meant for addendums, warranties, and other relevant documents. Renter's insurance is also necessary for the protection of personal belongings inside the home. When uploading customer documents, make sure to include income, housing documentation, and any other related documents. Once a customer has a home under contract, your lending team must upload all necessary documents for review. In regards to obtaining a clear to close, here's a quick rundown on the process. We'll acquire the signed closing settlement statements from the closing escrow office, which will be utilized to prepare the link loan closing documentation and calculate the closing costs and final numbers for the customer. Once the customer signs their documentation and allocates their funds, we will proceed to sign our documents and fund on our end as well, hopefully making it a simple and uncomplicated process to reach the finish line of closing. So in terms of the closing process, we use a mail-away closing process. So we will go ahead and provide the closing document package for the link loan, typically a day before the FHA loan docs get distributed for us to sign on behalf of our government agency partners. We will have the link loan docs set up for a mobile notary service, which can be directed to any location the customer prefers for the signing of those closing docs to take place. So the customer will sign those link loan docs, they'll fund their closing costs for the purchase of the home. The next day we sign the FHA loan docs and send those back. Typically, we have those signed and notarized with our internal Trio team and sent back electronically to the title closing office, and then we overnight that package to the closing office as well. Then we typically fund the next morning, followed by your funding. So the mail-away closing process is structured similarly to any other. Hopefully this explanation clarifies the entire process for your team. After the closing of the transaction, the customer assumes the same responsibilities as they would with any other transaction. However, it should be noted that our financial counseling partner, MMI, will be in touch with the customer to offer assistance with financial counseling services and training. The Link Home Loan contract outlines all customer rights and processes, and I encourage both you and the customer to thoroughly review it. Another amazing component to Trio is our home payment protection. It is a unique offering that can provide financial relief to customers who may experience unforeseen hardships such as a job loss or death. This program can cover 50% of the customer's housing payment for up to 6 months and offers both hardship counseling and financial relief. Payments are made directly to the mortgage servicers, helping to ensure on-time payments and proactive mitigation as compared to mortgage insurance. So here are a few reminders for your team in terms of process. Please make sure to establish a dedicated email address for all communications related to Link transactions. Before your team submits their initial application, please send an email to mylinkloan@thinktrio.com with the subject line stating the lender's name, along with your team's specific email address for all Trio and Link-related correspondences. Include the lender's NMLS number and contact details for your point of contact. We also have specific email addresses dedicated to different aspects of the transaction. Please use the appropriate email address to ensure effective communication with our team. And that wraps up our presentation. Once again, everyone, thank you for joining the call today. Thank you for your valuable time and attention. We are thrilled to introduce the Link Home Loan to your firm. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me during this session. In case we run out of time, I'll share my contact information in the chat. Please feel free to get in touch with me if you guys need any assistance. And thank you again for choosing Trio.